Emailed them a couple of times because we're supposed to,
Was, is it Miss, Clavell, she didn't sworn in?
I don't know who that is.
Right here. Hello.
Clavell. Oh, hello. How are you? Good. I'm Kathleen Glenn Matthews. I'm the Deputy Executive Director.
Oh, hey, nice to meet you.
I'm just filling in for John tonight.
I realize I have to put my glasses on, I can't see.
Yeah, he's a little under the weather.
Oh, that's too bad.
And I sort of met you the other day with John.
Oh, yeah.
Sister Maria, yes.
You're Marie.
Yes, Maria.
Yeah, Maria, you're the person I need to know.
Yes.
Great.
And I'm TC, I'm the director of finance.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Have you
Well,
had,
come on up.
Do you want me to, where?
Yeah, you get to pick wherever you
Sit up
want.
here?
did you get a chance to get sworn in?
Yes,
Oh,
I've been
perfect.
sworn in, I did my financial disclosure, I think I've done all the things I'm
Oh,
supposed to
great,
do.
okay.
And I read the things you sent, but like, they didn't mean a lot to me.
It takes about a year.
It's a long time.
I'm Bridget.
Hey, Liz, nice to meet you. Sent the email, yeah.
Yes, and I don't know if, oh, is this a shirt for somebody?
No, because I was supposed to like say what size I was and I never did, so.
Oh, Maria, who's this shirt for?
Gillette.
Oh, okay.
I'll sit on your.
You can sit wherever, yeah, I just set it down because she sat there last time, but.
And you said Earl's here. How many of us are there now?
Or
No, I mean,
in person 3, and then Javier's up there.
no, I mean on the board at all. Not like I can count that.
You have extra big.
How long have you been?
4 years?
You re-upped.
Yes.
From minimum.
So I re-upped
That's pretty good.
last year. Although I failed to get
Hello, how are you? Your shirts are up there on the scene.
Hi.
Amazing.
Okay, yay, we have new people.
Her name is Nash.
Okay, thank you very much. You can just leave it right there, because I can't, just leave it right there, I'll get it afterwards. Thank you. Hi.
So nice to meet you.
Bridget.
Gillette, nice to meet you. Hi.
Hey.
I'm sorry?
Gillette. We actually
Yeah, that's
met in
fine. We'll get it
2009.
after the
You won't
meeting.
remember this.
You did?
Yes, because I interviewed for a job in Carriel's office, and you interviewed me. And I was like, you like I have a uncommon name, and so I recognized your name, like from a million years ago.
That is a million years ago.
Yeah, I was a little child.
Were you, like you were in Charlottesville?
No, that's, I mean, which makes sense why I was in DC, but I was like just out of college and trying to find a job in 2009, which as you remember, might have been a hard time to find a job. I worked for a criminal justice nonprofit that like was like a policy org trying to work on preventing wrongful incarceration by dealing with like policy causes. So
Was it a state-based one?
it was national, but it had state offices in Tennessee and Texas. And then it was basically when the Innocence Project started, the Innocence Project only did litigation. They didn't do like policy stuff. And so this was like a policy thing.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then Barry Schiff was much better at fundraising. And so this nonprofit went under. It was a good learning experience. So,
Maria, have you heard from Michael?
No.
Okay.
I also brought cupcakes for us afterwards because it's Earl's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday.
All right, well then maybe we should get going. Okay, so I will call this meeting to order. Can we do a roll call, please, Ms. King?
Yes. Commissioner Hicks,
Here.
Commissioner Redalis,
Here.
Commissioner Rosenblatt. Am
Here,
I saying that right?
Rosenblythe.
Bliff. Okay,
Yes.
Rosenblatt.
Yeah.
Commissioner Wicks.
Yes. O'Rourke.
O'Roy. Okay.
I've changed my name twice, well, in the course of being on this board, sorry.
Commissioner Clavell.
Here.
I pronounced it correctly? Okay. We have a quorum.
All right, we will now take a moment of silence. Okay, general announcements, meeting dates and reminders. Our next board work session is Thursday, September 11th at 6 p.m. Next regular board meeting is Monday, September 22nd at 6 p.m. We have the redevelopment committee meeting every first Thursday of the month from 3 to 4. We have the CRHA admin redevelopment meeting every third Thursday at 1. Safety committee every second Wednesday at noon. And then resident services every second Tuesday at 1. I think we'll get to it later, but we do need to do some elections tonight, and then at a subsequent meeting, we've had a lot of shifts, so we probably need to like realign what different committees and stuff people are assigned to. I don't know if that's, I'm like staring at you, Kathleen. I don't know if that's on your radar or not, but I just thought about it. Oh, well, next on the list is to elect officers. Do we need, are there any public comments before we move on?
That's it. I just noticed there's some houses on Monticello, on Monticello Avenue are being built, and 7th Street, yes, and you know, I'm thinking about moving yes, what's the public housing for, because I'm having issues with not being allowed to write a check to pay for my rent. And I'm gonna try to, for the beginning of April or the end of March in 2026. It's been a nice place to live, but that it said that it, and no bank that concerns me personally, the Wells Fargo Bank, and I wish it would be back soon. And when is the South 6th Street going to be built? Is there going to be an open house to be shown around?
There are a number of things in there. I don't think we have dates yet for when we would be able to.
If I have any questions of this information, who should I go to?
Who would be the best?
LaShonda or
Maria. The best person to talk to would be Miss Carrie.
Right here.
Right there, Maria. Carrie.
Hi.
She can help you with those questions.
Hello, Kat. Hi. That's all.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, so next is on the agenda is annual meeting to elect officers. Previously, we're only required to have a chair and a vice chair. Wes was the chair, and he's obviously completed his service, and I was the vice chair, and I guess that's up to you. So at a minimum, we need to have those. We have previously, in the course of me being on the board at one point, Laura Goldblatt was treasurer, but we are not required to have a treasurer. And I don't, if anybody asks me what that entails, I have no idea. So, is Delphine? Delphine, can you advise?
Yes, I'm on. So for tonight, as you said, the most important positions are the vice chair and chair. Although if you desire to elect a treasurer as well, you can certainly do so, but not every housing authority has a treasurer as an officer of the board. You typically proceed first with the vice chair election and second with the chair. So I am not sure if you have considered whether there would be multiple candidates or any candidate at all for each of those two positions, but when you're ready to proceed, the best way to do it is for a commissioner to nominate someone on the board. They can nominate themselves or another commissioner for one of the two positions, and then we take a vote, and then we move on to the next position. So we could start with the vice chair and then move on with the chair position, again, assuming there are commissioners willing to serve in both of those positions.
Okay, thank you. Oh, hi, Michael.
Hello.
So I guess I'll open it up. Does anybody have any nominations for anything? I guess we'll start with vice chair. I didn't talk to him, but I would nominate Javier. Just
I would second that.
based on board tenure. Not that that's required.
I would, if you make a motion, I'd be happy, because I think Bridget would be in a very good position to be the chair. If I could just support you in that way. If it pleases the board, as they say.
Oh, we're getting fancy now. We're looking for pleasing people.
Old habits.
Okay, so it looks like we have a motion by Commissioner Wicks, seconded by Commissioner Payne, to nominate Commissioner Rodales for the position of vice chair of the board. Are there any other nominations for that position, or is the board ready to proceed with the vote? Great, it looks like we're ready to proceed with the vote, so if you would call the roll, or I'm happy to do it if you prefer, whichever way you would like to proceed.
Maria, you
Yes. Commissioner Hicks,
Here.
Commissioner Rosenblatt,
Yeah, we're voting yes, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
or no?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Rourke,
Yes.
Commissioner Clavell,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodales,
Yes.
Commissioner Payne.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay.
Congratulations, Javi.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Great, do we have any nomination for the position of chair of the board?
I'd like to nominate Bridget O'Rourke as our chair.
I second that.
Thanks, guys.
Great, it looks like we have a motion by Commissioner Rodales and a second was,
Commissioner Rosenblatt.
thank you, Commissioner Rosenblatt, thank you.
No
My
problem.
apology.
We have a lot of new
I'm getting
names
used
too.
to the new names and I apologize.
Totally understandable.
So we have a motion made by Commissioner Rodales, seconded by Commissioner Rosenblatt to nominate current vice chair or former vice chair Bridget Wicks O'Rourke as the new chair of the board. Do we have any other nominations for the position of chair? Hearing none, we can proceed to the roll call, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
All-
Yes.
Aye.
All opposed?
All right.
Congratulations.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, next up, I don't see anyone from FAR. Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I don't know you. I didn't know you were from FAR.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophia Marrero and I'm a community organizer at FAR. I just recently started maybe like 4 months ago, so if you haven't seen me,
Welcome.
it's nice to meet you all. So Latricia is away on vacation, so I'm going to be providing the FAR update today. We recently celebrated West Haven Community Day and it was a great success. I want to thank CRHA for all that they did. This event was a collaborative effort and we could not have done it without you all, as well as many of our other partners. We had a go-go band that was recruited with the help of Stacy, which is a community organizer at FAR, and it was incredibly popular. Many of us told us it was the highlight of the event and their favorite part. So that go-go band was great. I stayed back and listened to it, and personally, I really enjoyed it. We are also recruiting for our adult internship program. This is a program for residents that emphasizes civic participation and developing leadership skills. It lasts 6 months, is up to 10 hours a week, and pays $15 an hour. If anyone is interested, they can call our office at 434-984-3255. We're also celebrating our first ever youth internship program. They had a great success, and we are having a graduation to celebrate them on. CRHA is also having a back to school event this Thursday at South First Street, and we are having a fall festival at 6th Street on October 3rd. We have also been working on LV Collective's 11-story luxury student housing building to try and advocate for more step backs and setbacks. We are also working on asking City Council to change the zoning ordinance. The West Haven resident planners have been very active and have been speaking at all the meetings, so we think it's been a success. We've been flyering, we've been door knocking, we've been doing all of that. So thank you.
Awesome, thank you. And do we have any other public comments? Not yet, okay. Any updates from commissioners?
Oh, I have an update, which is that I spoke to the mayor of Alexandria on Thursday of this past week. I'm in my academic role an expert on public housing history, and she wanted to reach out to me to talk about that and kind of shared the good work that CRHA has been doing. And she was thinking potentially that maybe once the Alexandria Housing Authority, I don't know if you've seen the news, is kind of in the midst of a scandal type situation, but they were hoping that they might be able to learn from some of what CRHA has been doing in the future once things kind of settle down and they make sure that they're fully compliant with the law. And I was just praising, the residents and CRHA for everything that they've been able to do for Charlottesville. And she was really heartened by the example that Charlottesville residents and advocates have been over the many decades. So when she learned about everything that you all were doing, found it really impressive and wanted to learn from it and to support residents in Alexandria in the same way. So I didn't agree to anything, didn't want to volunteer anybody else's time without being able to do that, but said that I would report back to you all and keep the lines of communication open, and obviously I can give you her information too, so that you can reach out to her directly. It doesn't have to go through me. But I think she's hoping for that maybe in a few months or so. So thank you.
Are they in troubled status? Like we were?
So what she had said is that I guess their ED was living in public housing while making 6 figures, and so
okay.
They are going through a little bit of a rehire situation. So I think it was like a specific issue.
Pretty specific violation.
But
Okay.
also I think they're just she's trying to figure out how to build resident power, because residents are experiencing hardships, and obviously living in Alexandria is quite expensive. And so she is, as mayor, obviously you have only so much power, but she's trying to talk to anybody she can to figure out how to support the citizens of her city, and specifically the people who have been marginalized along numerous axes of identity. And so, she was kind of in the throes of things with the new news of that. But I think she's also not as happy with the board, not as happy with some of the kind of public-facing people. So wanted to figure out what to do to kind of build power on the ground.
Got it.
I would also recommend that they speak with FAR.
Yeah, that's what that's what I said. It was like CRHA and FAR residents, like speaking to residents themselves, the people who've been doing the work. So I think again, I can give you her contact information, and she can indicate when she feels like she's in a space where they're prepared to hear and learn in a way that feels conducive to everybody. So I don't want to gatekeep. I just wanted to announce that I was excited about everything that you all were doing and hopeful that that might be an example for other cities to take up.
Awesome. Thank you. Any other updates from commissioners?
I think that she did a public comment that she's ready.
You ready now?
Yeah.
Or do you want to wait to the end?
I'm ready, you know.
I'm ready for you. Let's go. I haven't seen you guys in like 4 days. It might be a whole week, so.
Hello, everybody. My name is Salithia Carr. I'm the founder of Not Me, I Believe. And I just wanted to give a quick update about the good work that we're doing at Crescent Halls. We do a Crescent Halls dinner program since January of this year. And it has been very, very successful. We run two meetings that we do a month, the first and second Saturday of each month. The third Sunday, we do a big meal. And the last one is coming up in October. October the 19th will be the ending meal for that. It have been having over, I say the highest number that we had to come into this dinner is 74 people out of 105 units and 105 residents that lived in this establishment. And so we are doing great, great work, and we would love to continue it for the next year. Also, I wanted to, because September the 13th, Rose Hill Neighborhood Association is having a block party at Washington Park. Not Me, I Believe, have partnered with them to do that, and we're looking for volunteers for this event. And I believe, for me, everyone is invited. So I'm extending that invitation to you all as well.
What time is the block party? I know you gave me a flyer, but
It's from 12 to 2. I have brought some flyers,
Okay.
but it's from 12 to 6. Sorry, 12 to 6.
okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Next up, we have approval of the board minutes from July 28th.
Could I request that we amend the minutes?
Yes?
There was a vote on minutes from the previous month, and it just doesn't include my vote in approval. I could put that into a motion if that's okay.
From the June 23rd.
Yeah, just looking over it quickly. It just kind of skips me, so I think it's just a typo.
Yep.
If we could, I could motion to approve the minutes from the July 28th board meeting with an amendment to include the affirmative vote of Javier Raudales approving the board minutes from June 23rd, if that makes sense.
Yep. I think that makes sense. You got that, Maria?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Can I ask a clarifying question? Are we voting on that?
Yes.
Do Lise and I vote on that if we weren't there?
You can abstain.
Okay.
Well, you were.
Oh, we are the 28th. Okay. so
You
yes.
were at the 28th.
Okay, so that's the one.
You were not sworn in yet, so you can abstain, and I wasn't there. Okay, sorry, we've got ourselves
Yeah,
ready
sorted.
now, Maria, to vote.
Okay, Commissioner Hicks,
Yeah.
Commissioner Rosen,
Flip.
Bliss, I'm sorry.
You're good. You're totally fine. Yes.
Commissioner O'Rourke,
Abstain.
Commissioner Clavell,
Abstain.
Commissioner Redalis,
A, yes.
Commissioner Payne,
Yes.
All right, thank you, everyone. All right, we have 2 recognition resolutions. So first, a resolution, CRHA Resolution 1490, a resolution recognizing the dedication and effort of Dr. Wes Bellamy in his service to the residents and HCV CISRAP participants of the Charlottesville Redevelopment Housing Authority during his tenure on the CRHA Board of Commissioners. Whereas Dr. Bellamy was appointed to serve the CRHA community as a commissioner of the CRHA Board of Commissioners beginning in September of 2022 and chair since July of 2023. And whereas during his tenure on the CRHA board, Dr. Bellamy has worked diligently to represent the needs of CRHA residents while ensuring the ongoing health and well-being of the agency. And whereas Dr. Bellamy's commitment to a resident-centric approach to the management of the CRHA demonstrates the value of true asset-based community leadership. And whereas Dr. Bellamy's commitment to serving residents in CRHA communities with annual events like the turkey and bike giveaway and the breakfast at the bus stop. And whereas during his tenure on the CRHA board, Dr. Bellamy served as the board chair for 2 years while serving on the Redevelopment Committee, Maintenance and Parallel Track Committee, Finance Committee, and Resident Services Committee. And whereas the Board of Commissioners of the Charlottesville Redevelopment and Housing Authority wishes to express its appreciation for the admirable work that Dr. Bellamy has done on behalf of the CRHA community over these past 3 years as he has sought to redefine our agency through partnerships with residents, FAR, the City of Charlottesville HUD, and numerous supporters and stakeholders. Therefore, be it resolved and known by all that with much gratitude, the Board of Commissioners of the Charlottesville Redevelopment and Housing Authority do hereby recognize and formally commend Dr. Wes Bellamy for his admirable efforts exercised on behalf of the residents of the CRHA, thus benefiting not only those directly served, but the greater Charlottesville community as a whole. I'll do a call, please.
Sure, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
All right, passes. I assume there's like an official one for us to sign somewhere, Maria. Okay. All right. CRHA Resolution 1491, a resolution recognizing the dedication and effort of Dr. Laura Goldblatt in her service to the residents and HCV CISRAP participants of the Charlottesville Redevelopment Housing Authority during his tenure on the CRHA Board of Commissioners. Whereas Dr. Goldblatt was appointed to serve the CRHA community as a commissioner of the CRHA Board of Commissioners beginning in May of 2019. And whereas during her tenure on the CRHA board, Dr. Goldblatt has worked diligently to represent the needs of CRHA residents while ensuring the ongoing health and well-being of the agency. And whereas Dr. Goldblatt's commitment to a resident-centric approach to the management of CRHA demonstrates the value of true asset-based community leadership. And whereas during her tenure on the CRHA board, Dr. Goldblatt served as the treasurer for 4 years while serving on the Safety Committee and Resident Services Committee. And whereas the Board of Commissioners of the Charlottesville Redevelopment and Housing Authority wishes to express its appreciation for the admirable work that Dr. Goldblatt has done on behalf of the CRHA community over these past 6 years, as she has sought to redefine our agency through partnerships with residents, FAR, City of Charlottesville, HUD, and our numerous supporters and stakeholders. Therefore, be it resolved and known by all that with much gratitude, the Board of Commissioners of the Charlottesville Redevelopment and Housing Authority do hereby recognize and formally commend Dr. Goldblatt for her admirable efforts exercised on behalf of the residents of the CRHA, thus benefiting not only those directly served, but the greater Charlottesville community as a whole.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed?
Could we change it so that her pronouns are right?
Yeah.
At the very first sentence, yes.
There's 2 times where it's
It
his
says
service
he.
and his tenure.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you. I was going to say it too. Good call. Laura will immediately see that. All right. So moving ahead, the HCV program manager update.
Miss Hester?
I'm sorry, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
So we have a total of 651 vouchers, 71 including the CSCRAP participants, and we have 8 vouchers on the street.
Miss Hester, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm LaShonda Hester. the interim program manager at HCV.
Any questions for Ms. Hester? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. TC, finance update?
Hey, TC Nichols, Director of Finance. Just a couple quick updates since we're not in a quarter month. We are continuing work on EFT payments for landlords and working on a more digitized document system for all of our public housing records, HCV records, and finance HR records. And at this point, we've received a quote from Rico, so we're kind of looking over that right now and making a determination if that's the way we want to go with their product or do something more in-house. And that's all we have.
Awesome. Any questions for TC? All right, thank you very much. Housing update.
Good evening to the board and everyone else in attendance. Tarana Banks, Interim Director of Property Management and Compliance Manager. 3 things we wanted to highlight tonight. The first thing is that a majority of the property management, maintenance, and resident services staff was able to complete a fair housing training with one of the top trainers in the industry on August 13th. The trainer was very pleased and said how interactive the agency was, and so we will be looking to do that at least once a year with as many of the staff members as possible. Also, asset collections manager, with the help of PM staff and resident services, was able to either postpone or completely avoid eviction. We were able to get $16,126 in rental assistance for residents that were either facing eviction or right at the brink of eviction. And we are still continuing to work through our EDP program. Lastly, sorry, I'm flipping through notes here. On September 11th, the property manager for Madison and Mickey, along with our other PM staff and partners, will be doing an ice cream social for those 2 communities. And so I don't have exact times yet, but we'll try to get that out if anyone wants to pop by. It'll be an hour at Madison and an hour at Mickey. We'll be doing snacks, drinks, and then we'll have the ice cream truck out to do ice cream for not just the kids, but the adults that like it as well. And I think that's all we have. Are there any questions?
I have a very random question, not about anything you just said, but
Okay.
I know that we always do a trunk or treat. Have you guys, do you have a target date for that yet?
Yes, we'll be working on it in September.
Okay.
I know typically, honestly, we start planning maybe 3 or 4 months out. So yes, as we do every year, we will be doing that, and we'll get some information out on that. I'm sure Ms. Joy will be heading up the candy collection.
Yep.
For that. And yes, we'll get some more information out on that, but that is an annual thing. So we'll definitely be doing that.
Prolific is planning to do the Halloween Spectacular again in partnership with City of Promise. And so
Okay.
we've started working on that, so we just don't want to conflict with stuff.
Gotcha.
We're targeting October 25th. And I mean, when I say starting, we talked about it, this morning. So
Okay, gotcha.
I just wanted to put it
We will
out.
make sure it doesn't conflict. We'll
Okay,
make sure we
yep.
get with you on that.
We'll
Yes.
work with y'all. Yep. We
Yes,
like to
ma'am.
give out, we like to trunk or treat too, so. All
I
right.
gotcha.
Thank you. Any other
All right.
questions for Ms. Banks? Okie dokie. Nonprofit update and request.
Yes. My name is Kathleen Lynn Matthews, and I'm the Deputy Executive Director. It's been many years in the making. It's been part of our annual and strategic planning to launch a nonprofit. Part of the presentation I'm giving tonight, we actually had almost a year ago today, but we decided to pause at that point in time so that we could do some capacity building, and the board at that time had also asked us to work on SOPs, which we have completed. We believe we're ready now to launch this in Beaver. And since we have a lot of new faces, I thought I would just give a quick review of what we were proposing. So part of it's just logistics, and there's definitely time for questions at the end, but please let me know if you have questions while I'm going over some of this. The main reason we're wanting to have a nonprofit, and I've been talking about it for a good 6 years or more, is that we are limited with the grants that we can apply to. We're a quasi-government agency, and many times we come across funding that we're really excited about and then realize that we cannot, as we are not a 501c3. We also want to do some diversifying. The world has been changing a lot with different funding, and it's a bit uncertain as to where some of our funding is going to be coming in the future, and we feel this would give us more stability. We're also undergoing tremendous redevelopment efforts that are led by our residents, and we want to make sure that we can support some of these processes that are going on, as well as costs that come up that might not have been anticipated, or just changes in the economy. We're also looking at being able to actually garner support from our community with in-kind donations and personal property donations. We could even have property that's self-donated, which we could not do previously, and give the donor, full tax credit. Fundraising is something we're really excited about. A lot of our residents talk to me about this a lot, and they have so many amazing ideas around fundraising, and sometimes it's for programs, sometimes it's for after school, and sometimes it's for redevelopment as well. And this would open up a lot of avenues for that. Logistically, we needed to have a board resolution, a name, mission and vision, programming with oversight, a conflict of interest policy, and looking at some financial data and fundraising. And then the last part's going to be filing our articles of organization. We had a board resolution done in May 24th of 2021. As I said before, we've been very vested in this. Everything's in place as far as that piece, but we need to obtain city council approval. For city council approval, we're looking at, one or two of our commissioners going to city council, and they could also, I would also ask our council to assist them with some recommendations of that presentation, but it is a requirement. For the name, we've been tossing around ideas a lot. We even had some names thrown out on the website. Once it's approved by city council, we would like to have sort of a final vote on our website and flyer neighborhoods and really encourage residents to vote for a name. The mission and vision, this was done quite some time ago, and it's definitely open for wordsmithing, but it's a nonprofit organization that would be organized in 2025 to support the development of physical, economic, social, and cultural revitalization of low and moderate income residents in the Charlottesville area. The main purpose of the organization is to identify and address the needs of these individuals with a focus on education, job training and placement, redevelopment, housing stability, health, wellness, and other community social services. To accomplish its mission, the organization has been granted the directive to secure and manage contributions, bequests, grants, and other funding from individuals, organizations, and government agencies. For oversight, and I invite you to ask our council more questions on this, but we had talked about, borrowing staff from COHA. Essentially, it would be a mirror board and with mirror staff initially when we launched this. The hope is, in the future, we would look at, as we did acquire more funds and build the nonprofit, there would be staff associated directly to it. Initially, the main staff that you would see working with this would involve myself, our grants management coordinator, our finance department, and of course, Mr. Sales and yourselves. We have been looking at different activities and who would be involved with these. We've had this in place for about a year now, and everyone is feeling ready to launch this. We're looking at our grant writing and research, which right now is one person, and we'd love to be able to grow that, being about 50%. And we're also looking at donor stewardship. This is all about building relationships in the community. This is going to be for the first time something we also will be talking to the board about, looking at about 20% of the board's time. Outreach and marketing. The first year is going to be really all about marketing and letting people know what this is about, why we're doing it. Financial management, as we said before, it will be a mirror entity following almost consistently all of the SOPs that are currently in place, with the exception of some new accounts. Database management, we already have acquired some systems for that. We would be generating some new forms in place, being able to provide tax letters, and event planning, which is something, as I said before, we would also be doing with our residents. At least once a week, I have someone coming to me with ideas of something they'd like to do, particularly around redevelopment. Programs, barrier assistance is at the top of the list. We cannot remove barriers, but we can help people overcome them. So we're looking at different supports of that. Education opportunities. Our self-sufficiency programs often have funding just for staff and not for other services. We are looking at scholarships. We would really like to be able to assist more of our community with attending higher education, as well as trade schools. Housing stability is something that's really been on our mind with this list. We need funds, as I said before, around redevelopment efforts. Sometimes that might be soft costs involving computer labs. Sometimes it might be that fees have gone up for certain things that are being built with the construction that we had not anticipated. But we're also looking at, with housing stability, funds for eviction prevention and funds to be able to, we'll talk about this more with EDP, but funds so that we can actually work with individuals on programs and have incentives for them, not just to pay their rent, but that we can match what they pay on certain months while they're attending training programs. We're also really wanting to compensate our residents for all their hard work, and it's often really challenging to find any funds that can be used for stipends or other compensation. We want to have really nice on-site events, just like any other community would have, and we want to have the funds to do this. We're looking at, when we do on-site celebrations, also maybe being able to hire people in the community to cater these events. All of this is a focus on being resident-led. This nonprofit will, one of the things that will happen is we'll be talking to the Resident Service Committee about having an advisory group that will be built out over the first year for this nonprofit. We have homeownership programs that we've been developing, but there's a lot of gaps there, and we don't want to just get people in the homes. We want to have aftercare services, and this would be a method for us to pursue some of that. Youth and family programming, we've just hired our first youth coordinator. We're really excited about that. We want that to be the beginning. We want to have programs at all of our sites, and we want to really be reaching out to a wide range of youth, very young youth, as well as specific programs for teens and young adults. Any questions on any of that? The conflict of interest policy, this would be very similar to the policy we already have. We would look at pretty much, as I said before, mirroring this. As far as financial data and fundraising, we would be looking at providing some projections. We're definitely looking at fair market value of any services as we're building in what we're doing in-house. We're considering, some things as well as our first year, possibly bringing in a consultant to help really launch things quickly so that we can see this nonprofit up and running pretty rapidly. So financial controls, we have some great SOPs that our controller, our finance director has put in place, and we would be following those. The bank accounts would be separate, and money would be handled separately. We, would be part of our financial reporting and audit compliance. So, fundraising is going to be a big responsibility for all of us. We're going to be talking about it more. It's part of our strategic plan. I'm going to be, we're looking at getting a draft of our annual plan out in right near the end of October. I've already had the first resident advisory board meeting at the FAR board meeting just this month. So we're going to be having a lot of meetings around this, and this will be a topic that we'll also talk about. We're going to be asking, people what they're interested in seeing. We're going to be talking about, some of how our website's getting revamped, and also about events, what people want to see us doing. And Ms. Carnes, did you want to talk at all about filing of the articles of incorporation?
That's really the easiest step. So once you pick a name and once City Council has given you approval to move forward with the creation of the entity, we would verify that the name is available, because the Commonwealth of Virginia doesn't obviously want two entities that have similar names or names that are so close they could be confused with each other. So we check the availability of the name, and then we file the articles of organization with the SEC. And you can get a certificate back. If you do it online, you can get it immediately most of the time. The difficult piece will be really working on the organization's bylaws and making sure that even though the organization will borrow staff from CRHA, it is a separate organization with separate books and records, separate finances, separate bank accounts, obviously. And that can be challenging. It's obviously very feasible, but you need to have a very clear delineation of roles and responsibilities, such that, for example, if board members engage in some fundraising activities on behalf of the nonprofit, it has to be clear that you're not wearing your hat as a member of the Board of Commissioners of CRHA when you're doing that. So there are ways to ensure that, and we'll put in place some protocols. But other than that, it should be pretty straightforward. As Kathleen mentioned, this is something that you have been talking about as a board and as an organization for several years, which is why you adopted a resolution several years ago now, but we never really got to the second step of getting the approval from City Council.
Any questions or feedback?
This is exciting. A very long time coming.
I have a number of questions, but I don't necessarily want to go first since I know less than everybody. But if no one else has questions.
have so many questions, but I'm sure it's you, so go for it.
And I'm sorry if I missed this in there, but do you have an idea of what you would want to raise in your first year, couple years?
Yes, we were looking, we were being very moderate. We've been looking at, a very modest amount initially. Some of this was done over a year ago. Initially we had just talked about $100,000. Because a lot of it was going to be capacity building and getting things in place. But we also, we really want to be able to support redevelopment efforts too. And we want to know that if, there's opportunities to, acquire properties, that, this mechanism was also in place for that. So part of what we'll be doing that first year is making sure some of those structures are there. We're also going to be really looking at our staffing. I'm going to be, asking TC a lot, what he needs from us, as well as our grants coordinator, Katrina Bites, who's been just absolutely phenomenal.
This all seems super exciting. The two thoughts I had were, one, if you're thinking about bringing in a consultant for the first year, which makes a ton of sense, I would advise finding someone whose responsibility will also include a bunch of fundraising. So like they're setting up the organization, but have some accountability for bringing in funds as well, because I think that's a reasonable twofer to try to get, versus just having a consultant who comes in and sets up the structure. And then the only other thing I was going to say is that it seems like there are a lot of really cool opportunities with setting up a C3 that's connected to the CRHA. The mission statement seemed to focus on sort of one set of those opportunities, but didn't include, and I don't necessarily know that you want to include it in there. I'm just saying, you said if people could donate property or land or whatever. That's not in there, and I don't know if you want it in there. I don't know if you want to get really specific about what kinds of things you're trying to start out with versus what it could look like 3 to 5 years in.
That's a great suggestion. I think we will add that.
But I don't think any of that, it seems like the next step precedes any of the wordsmithing necessarily of the mission and the vision, and right? I don't know.
So if I may, that's a really good point, and it highlights really the distinction between the immediate next steps to create the entity and then apply for 501c3 status, as opposed to the ongoing operations of the entity and some of the broader things that you can do with the entity. And one example of that is that if in your 501c3 application you mention receiving as a donation real estate, you have a whole other section that you need to fill out. You have to be pretty specific if you start talking about real estate. And the danger is that if you want to go too big right away at the stage of your 501c3 application, you may not be successful if you're trying to be, overly optimistic, but don't have yet all the details that you would need in order to provide an estimate of the fair market value of that real estate and how you're going to acquire it, who are your donors, who are your contacts. It's really going to force you to go down a path where perhaps you're not prepared yet. So perhaps there can be a description of the mission of the new entity that is broad enough to contemplate receiving land and engaging in redevelopment initiatives down the road, but at the same time, at the stage of the application, you're not immediately saying we're going to build 50 units on, parcel 21, which is located at the corner of such and such streets, because we don't have that data and you're not ready for that. So I think there are ways to accomplish that, both getting the 501c3 designation, but also not closing the door to future opportunities that may well involve the development of real estate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that totally makes sense, and it's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. Any questions?
Yeah, and so in terms of the timeline or kind of the action items for us, is it, putting together with you all a presentation at the work session that we have next, or kind of what, you know, like obviously there's a lot of little things that have to happen in order for this to kind of get rolling. So what are the action items that you need from us?
The first action item will be having someone from the board go to city council asking for approval, because we can't really move forward without that approval.
Right, and so you were saying like working on a presentation, and so would we crib from, I'm assuming we would just crib from this presentation, but maybe there would be specific questions that we would want to anticipate that may or may not, I don't know, like what the process, right, may or may not be we might be able to anticipate them or not, and then we would work with, I'm sorry, the name of the woman who's been so helpful, who's the council, what's her name?
Delphine Carnes.
Delphine Carnes, okay, so Ms. Carnes on that, right, just making sure that we're all, is it one person or the whole board?
It would be most likely two.
Two, okay.
Are we on council's agenda for this yet, or
We need to get
that's
on
our
the
first step, is
Okay.
getting on
the agenda.
getting on the agenda? Okay. And then putting that presentation together. Okay. Too bad we couldn't have asked when we just saw them and we were asking for all those other things.
And for the presentation to City Council, to the extent they need an actual PowerPoint presentation, I would recommend paring this one down.
Yeah.
I think just a few slides, not getting perhaps into too many of the details, particularly since Commissioner Payne can really bridge the gap, so to speak, and be a liaison with regard to that. But I think longer presentations tend to ultimately work to the detriment of the presenter.
And we've spoken about this to council before, so it shouldn't be new news. We just didn't seek approval. Do you have a timeline in your mind, Kathleen?
Yeah.
I think Commissioner Payne was about to say something.
Oh, okay, sorry, Michael.
Oh, no, not at all. I was just going to say, I think, as you mentioned, I think council is hopefully up to speed on the idea, and I think as soon as it's on a council agenda, I would anticipate it wouldn't be controversial or encounter resistance or anything like that.
I think they'd be glad for us to go get money from somewhere other than them.
Right.
I mean, I would like us to look at getting on the agenda in the very near future.
Okay.
Do you feel like you'd be ready for an agenda in September or October?
I do.
Okay. Well, I'll communicate that with city staff on city's end, because I mean there really shouldn't be an issue on the city's end, whether it's September and October for getting that on.
Are there any of my fellow commissioners who would want to take this to council? Or to partner in taking this to council?
I will
No
go with
pressure.
anyone.
Okay.
I just feel like I haven't been part of the talking about it, so I'm happy to go in a supportive role. But I feel like I don't know as much as others.
Laura probably knows the most, and we can't send her anymore. Okay, then why don't we work together, volunteer?
Is this coming up in September, you said?
September or October, whenever we can get on the agenda.
Okay.
If you feel passionately that you would like to go to council, Javier, I don't have to.
I'd be more than happy if it's just to kind of divide the workload here.
I will gladly let you and our new commissioner, Rosen Blith.
Gillette, yes.
I'm gonna learn everybody's names to do that. So there you go. You've got two folks.
Great.
And I'm happy to support and help any way I can. Any other questions for now? I'm sure we'll have more as this comes to fruition, but this really has been a long time in the works. All right, thank you very much, Ms. Glenn Matthews. I will open it back up for more public comment, if anybody has any.
I mean,
Okay, did you bring candy with you though?
I know, right? Look, when I saw your face, I was like,
She makes freeze-dried candy, and
Yeah.
we spent some time together at
Yeah,
Charlottesville,
she helped me,
and I ate a lot of freeze-dried candy, which is both amazing and
Thank
strange
you.
all at the same time.
Thank you so much. You also helped me put up my tent for the very first time.
I did help you
And
put up
because
your
of you, I now know how to do it on my own. So I appreciate that. No, for real, like you did it really great. Hey you guys, how y'all doing? Hi Miss Ortran, hi Mrs. Wade, hi Mrs. Pinkston, hi Mrs. Smith. How you doing? Did I say that right?
We don't
No,
even.
these
Hold on,
aren't
wait,
our
let me try it
names.
again.
These aren't our names.
Oh, look at me. Just
They're the
like, you know what I'm saying? I'm
counselors.
addressing everybody.
Yeah,
right?
we don't
My
even know
bad.
whose names
Look,
that are in
so-
front of us.
My name's Angela Carr, and I'm here today, and I wanted to like come to the board because I feel like I've taken every step that I needed to take, considering my barment from all of CHRE properties. There's a video from West Haven that that shows me arguing with another individual that lives on CHRE properties as well. I was never in a physical altercation. I was never like, you know what I mean, like the aggressor, or like in someone's face, or like in their property, like never in that manner. I'm sure Mr. John,
Sales.
yes, Mr. John Sales and Mrs. Tarana Banks, who was in the meeting as well, I'm sure both of them still have the video from that incident as well. So I'm just kind of asking the board if y'all could take a look at the video and see like if I deserve to be barred or not, because this was back in, my phone's right here, sorry. I believe this date was April the 9th. I sent Mrs. Tarana Banks. April the 6th, I saw Mr. John Sales on, where was I when I seen him? At a FAR board meeting, because I sit on the FAR board association as well here in Charlottesville. But and my community chose me to be a part of that board. So if I was a bad person, they wouldn't have chose me to be a part of that board. But I see Mr. John Sells coming in because he had to come speak one day, and I was like, hey, Mr. John, can I talk to you real quick? And I felt like that was my chance. So I kind of, long story short, the story of, you know, what was going on West Haven. And he was like, oh, I seen that video. He was like, and I heard somebody saying, stop, your grandkids got to live here. And I was like, hey, man, that wasn't even me. You know, like, that's how low my voice was. That wasn't even me saying that. That was the aunt of the children that lived there telling the grandmother that, hey, chill out, stop trying to fight because your grandkids live here, right? So stuff really did get out of hand. I'm talking about a lot of police officers came. The individual that I brought there was the father of the children, and he wanted to do a wellness check because one of his children, long story short, the family had reported that child got a broken nose by an adult that wasn't supposed to be around them anyway until they're over 18 years old. So he was concerned. So he showed up, hey, let me see my kids. If I can't see them, then I'm going to call the police because I want to do a wellness check. To make it a long story short, things got out of hand when the mother kind of disrespected him, let another one of her other children disrespect him. At that point, I'm like, all right, it's getting out of hand. I get out of my vehicle, I walk up to the door, and I'm like, hey, just come on. You know, we can call the police or go from that point. The grandma get out, really big argument, all this stuff is happening. But I contacted Mr. John Sells, told him the story. He, in his head, he replayed the video that he saw while I was telling him. And I believe that he also agreed that I wasn't, you know, like in no big up, like I wasn't doing extra stuff in the video. That's what I believe. So he was like, hey, I think you should go talk to Ms. Tarana Banks. And I was like, who is that? And he was like, she's the one that you would take your appeal to, like your grievance and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. I take it to Ms. Tarana Banks. Honestly, in my opinion, like just in a professional opinion, being a founder of a candy company and like how I would treat people, I'm just saying like and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Ms. Tarana Banks at all, but the professionalism of how she contacted me weeks later to even give me a response on my appeal is concerning to me, because if I am a person that doesn't even get in trouble in the community, you know, it made me wonder how many people are barred from a community and then don't know how to appeal it, or don't know what steps to take or who to talk to. And then if they did talk to someone, if it even went further, or if they just gave up, like, forget it, I'm gonna just go to the property anyway. But you have someone who's trying to follow the rules, and I did break the rules one time, but honestly, like, I completely forgot that the new South 1st Street was CHRE property. And when she asked me about it, the person that brung that to them, she didn't even know she was telling on me. She was, you know, praising me on an icy cup that I was selling her. She was like, oh, and came back to me. She was like, Angela, I think I got you in trouble. I'm like, why you say that? She said, because I was explaining to Salithia and John was right there that you gave me real good slushies. And I was like, why would I be in trouble? So then a few days later, I got a call, either an email or a call. I believe it was an email, sorry, from Ms. Tarana Banks asking why I had went on the CHRA property anyway. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, okay. And I tried to kind of, long story short, explain to her, I know how that happened. Boom, boom, wah, wah. This lady said that. I'm sorry, my bad. I kind of forgot because I even thought Garrett was CHRA. Salithia had to explain to me that it wasn't. I've been raised in housing my whole entire life. Like, I'm talking about from a child up to now. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I moved on my own, did my own thing, but coming back to Charlottesville, having my own kids, I now live in housing. There's a lot of things that I'm not involved in with the kids and housing because I'm barred, and I don't think it's fair. There's at Crescent Halls, we made this plan last year. I'm supposed to make homemade gingerbread houses for the elderly people and go there with directions to help them put them together. I can't do that. So this has been 4 months, almost 5 months of me fighting for my rights. You know what I mean? To say, hey, when can I be unbarred because I'm not doing anything? You can clearly see on the video that I was never in a physical altercation. I just had some words back and forth, exercising my Fifth Amendment right. It doesn't say anywhere in the policy of housing or CHRA, as far as I'm concerned, because I read my front to back on the policies with my lease when I got it, and with FAR when I got into the board. Like, there's nothing on those policies stating that you can't have an argument on the property. There's nothing in those policies stating that you can't go back and forth and have a heated argument with someone on the property. But, I mean, you know, violence is unacceptable. I understand that. But neither I or the party that went there that got into the big argument was in a physical altercation, and you can see that on the video. So Mrs. Peppertrue, at the time when she was here, she wrote up a statement and wrote me a piece of paper and said, and I didn't even get it in my hand, which is, again, I'm professional. I didn't get a phone call to say you're barred. I didn't get anything except a piece of mail in the mail that I barely check because I don't really get mail, you know what I mean? So I got the mail like 2 months after I was barred, and I'm like, oh, snap. I done been over to the projects, which is West Haven, numerous of times. Let me tell, you know, somebody this so they don't think that I'm just like, oh, forget that. You know what I mean? So I had a conversation with Miss Alethea about, hey, like, they're taking me away from West Haven when there's 3 families in West Haven that I pick up to take them to go meet their kids at social services. Now they got to walk outside of, you know what I mean? You're restricting a lot from me, and I'm a good person. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, I have to pay my rent on CHRA property every month. So I'm breaking the rules anyway, every month, to be able to go into CHRA's 6th Street Center and give them, you know what I mean, the money for my rent. So how can I go about, you know what I mean, who do I talk to next other than where I am today to say, hey, when? And not only that, but Mrs. Tarana Banks had, the same day she was asking me about while I was over South 1st Street, she told me that I would get back to you later on today with the decision. That was almost a month ago. So you said later on today, like as of today, now I'm gonna put you on hold and make you wait even longer. I don't think it's fair because I'm important too. I have things to do too. You know what I'm saying? I have children to lead too. And I'm a good person, period. Can't nobody take that from me. So I want somebody to be like, hey, the same way y'all just kind of voted just now, I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? After you take a look at the video, like, you will see that I don't deserve to be barred. I don't understand what's taking so long. But then when I think about it, you know what I mean? And I didn't put this 2 and 2 together at first, but I think it also could be a conflict of interest with me. I mean, no, not personally myself, maybe, I don't know, but I think it could be a conflict of interest with Ms. Tarana Banks and my family because of my last name. Because when we were younger, make a long story short, Mrs. Tarana Banks had thought that my mom's children were the one who had did something in the neighborhood, and we weren't. Like, when the cameras came out and we all kind of got to get together, that was like an altercation that her and my mom had. And then years later, she had an altercation with another family member with the same last name as me, and she got kicked out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot with, I guess, my last name. But I've never had an altercation with you. I even know her family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never had altercations or fought anybody that she personally knows, so I don't understand why I am still waiting almost 5 months into the barment for the appeal. You know what I mean? And I know there's like a 45 or 90-day limit on a yes or even a no, but I haven't even gotten that. So I'm just here at the board like, hey, what do I do next? You know what I'm saying? Because I have things to do and missions to accomplish, and there's kids that need me. I don't care what nobody say. And sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, it make you want to be like, man, forget that barment. All right, I'm here. Come on. Like, I live on the inside. I'm not on the outside just looking in. You know what I'm saying? So I know what we need. I know it. So I need that barment gone. Like, for real, that's why I'm here.
So, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
For sharing. I will tell you, the board, like, we can't decide about a
Understand.
barment. And Mr. Sales is not here tonight. Miss Banks is on the phone, but I don't know if she has anything she wants to say, but I can commit to following up with Mr. Sales. He's sick, but I can
we feel
follow up
better.
with him tomorrow and make sure we have your information and commit to following up with you.
I appreciate it, for real, no joke. Even if the answer is no, at least I get an answer. But still, I will not understand if it's no. I won't understand because my barment says I was barred for a physical altercation. Physical, is hands-on fighting, like boom, brawling out. I was never in a physical altercation, so I'm barred for nothing. And again, brings back the concern of how many people are actually barred for no reason.
Yes, so this is Ms. Banks. I just wanted to say, number one, we're not going to discuss this in an open forum. Number two, Mr. Sales is involved in every step of the process, whether he's there or not. So he's aware of everything that's going on, and we are following our process to make a determination.
Okay, so I have a quick question, Ms. Tarana Banks. How long, what is your policy on making someone wait for the barment? Like, how long do you have to give an answer to someone, or how long do you have to keep the appeal without an answer, is my question.
We're following our process, Ms. Carr.
But that's not an answer, Mrs. Tarana Banks. The answer would be umpteen amount of weeks or days. So then again, that brings me back to it must be some type of a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hear it. That's all I'm saying. Y'all hear it. So again, can anyone tell me how long, what is the policy? How long do you wait for your appeal to be heard? That's crazy. No?
I don't
we
know.
don't know
I don't
because
know
we
the
aren't
answer.
involved in the
Yeah.
execution of
But when Ms. Tarana Banks knows,
day-to-day.
she's not even trying to give me an answer. She's going to be quiet and just say, nope, that's it, that's all. Conversation over. That's professional.
Oh, you're on mute. Oh, okay.
I'm not going to go back and forth in this forum per Mr. Sales. This is not how we handle things. And so we are following our process. There is no set time when there are variables that are involved, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
So there is no set time to an appeal, that's what you said? Okay. Thank you. I'm going to do my own homework and research on that. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? Hi, Brandon.
Hey everybody, I'm Brandon. I'm your redevelopment coordinator. I don't often give public comments, but there's a very serious matter that usually falls on me to bring to your attention, which is Commissioner Hicks is celebrating a birthday, and I'm really excited about it. I would also just remind everybody that the commissioner gave an amazing speech at the BAR meeting Tuesday night, inspiring and just really drove it home. Best speech I've heard you give yet, and it was awesome. Also, really well dressed when you did it, for reasons. So here's how I like to deal with the birthday thing, and this does usually fall on me. I don't know why I'm the guy, but so we'll about like that. So on the count of 3, and we start on the 4 and we sing it. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Earl Commissioner. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
And for those of you who are here in person, I did bring cupcakes.
Yay. So I think maybe it's time I seek a motion to adjourn. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Good night. Robert's Rules of Orders or something? Yes, yes, okay. So. But, yeah, because it's